guys, welcome back. I wanted to start this video by saying I do change my bed sheets, but I have two of the same type because I like the way my room looks with these. So that's been on my mind, that people must think that I never change my bed sheets, but I do. I just have two of the same sets. Anyway, welcome back. This was quite an impromptu video really, but I do this often. I think, oh, I should make a video about that. And then I let the day go, the emotions pass, and then I either don't have the time to do it, forget to do it, or it doesn't seem as powerful because I'm a couple of days on or weeks on or whatever. So I thought, no, I'm going to sit and do it because loads of people have messaged me and asked me how my day's going, how we're celebrating. So yeah, I just thought I would catch up with you all and let you know how our first ever Mother's Day went with Squirtle and Elsa. So it's been a funny lead up to Mother's Day. They obviously have known that it's Mother's Day. It's all over the television, in every shop you walk in. School have obviously been talking about it, and they've mentioned it to me a few times before. A couple of times Squirtle has said to me, like, can we get you a present for Mother's Day? And I just every time just sort of said, yeah, of course. But I didn't want them at any point to feel like they needed to. But it's also about getting the fine line between them knowing that they can see me as a mother figure and I would do absolutely anything for them. And that is the role I'm playing at the moment, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They see their mum once a month, and I'd be silly to say that I didn't have that role to fill. I will never replace that woman, and nothing can take away the fact that that is their mum. However, I have a duty to give them that maternal sort of, I don't know, that thing. It's undescribable, isn't it? What your mum does for you is undescribable. And she will always have that bond with them. But then the day-to-day bits where that role slots in, I have that job to do. So I just said, yeah, sure, of course, you can buy me something if you like, da-da-da. So I kind of left it at that. I didn't say anything to them. We saw their mum Monday just gone, so we bought them some canvases and they painted these lovely canvases for her, and she got a card, but it was also Elsa's birthday celebration, so that kind of took over, and from what I've heard, it wasn't made sort of a very big deal at Contact. And then, I don't know if any of you do follow me on Instagram, you saw my stories about the Mother's Day fair at school. I'd completely forgotten about it. But when we got to school, they were like adamant that they wanted money and they needed money to buy me something at the fair, and it was all really like, oh my goodness, like, what are we gonna do? We need to get you something. So I sent them to school with some money, and they came home with some beautiful gifts for me. They both made me the most wonderful cards. Like, it was really overwhelming for me, and I'll be completely honest, I didn't know how to react, and I didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't know whether it was pride. I felt guilt, like a lot of guilt. There's only so much I can do for their mum. We don't get to see her that often. I don't know her very well. I've not known her for very long. So yeah, it was really, really strange receiving these gifts from them for Mother's Day. But at the same time, like I say, you have to sort of understand where they're coming from, and they want to feel normal, and they want to feel like they can bring their homemade gifts home to somebody who's going to love them and cherish them. So I had a job to do. That's how I felt. So that happened sort of like at the end of the week, and then Nico had said, you know, what do you want to do in terms of Mother's Day? How do you feel about it? And I was like, I don't feel like their mum. I'm not their mum. I don't want to take anything away from their mum. I don't want to tread on anybody's toes. I don't want to upset them. And he was like, they really want to get you stuff and they really want to make a big deal of it. And then Nico said about going swimming this weekend, and Nico said to him, I'll take you swimming on Sunday. And Squirtle was like, no, we have to spend the whole day with Connie. And at that point I was like, it really means something to them. And I'm not making this political for them, and I'm not telling them that they don't get to feel the way they feel. If they're getting some form of comfort from me and some form of comfort of how to spend the day, then I'm just going to take their lead. And I think that's what you have to do, and that's the learning curve with it all, is taking the child's lead and how they feel about it and how they want to approach it, and just going from there. So at that point we were like, oh, okay, maybe we need to make Sunday Mother's Day then for them. That's what they want. So we got up this morning and they'd made me a beautiful breakfast and they were really excited, and they'd got me lovely cards, and they got me a little cacti in some plant pots, and the plant pot, on the front of one of the plant pots it says, thank you for helping me grow. And obviously Nico had picked this, and I just thought, yeah, that's brilliant, because that's what I am doing. I'm helping them grow, and I am a really important part of their life. So I absolutely loved that. And they got me some pyjamas, which are just like, who doesn't love pyjamas? And they just gave us a happy Mother's Day, you're the best carer we've ever had. I've only had one. And just, yeah, it was just really nice. And I got really overwhelmed reading their cards. And I'd put on Instagram sort of like, I feel like a fraud. And so many people messaged me and was like, absolutely not, like what you're doing for them is amazing, and not taking anything away from their biological mum, and just enjoy it and take their lead on it, and you're doing a fab job. So I kind of started to feel a little bit better about the day, the more sort of people did say that to me, which was really, really lovely. But a couple of times throughout the day I've just had this overwhelming, like, it's making me this uncomfortable. How on earth are all the mothers out there feeling who don't have their children? And just this rush of that guilt and that pang, and how they feel seeing the adverts on television and it being plastered all over social media. And I've not been able to stop myself feeling that way, and I don't think I will. And this is the first Mother's Day since the boys got adopted, and I can't help but think about their mum. So it's been a really, really strange day. We had plans to go to the Air Museum so that the kids could see an aeroplane, but just from the way they were, just tiny little things just indicated to us that they were gonna struggle today, and rightly so. So we didn't want to do anything too overwhelming, but we packed up a picnic and we went to the park and we had a lovely picnic. And on the way to the park, something come on the radio about who you want to spend your day with. And Elsa was like, yeah, and your mum and dad, I mean carers. So in her little brain, like, it was just kicking up a lot of things. And Squirtle a few times has just asked like strange backhanded questions, and you could just tell he's uncomfortable, and he pulls his socks up constantly when he's uncomfortable. And today I've literally threatened to take his socks off of him because he's just done that all day. So they enjoyed the park, that was lovely, and then we went to Auntie Bernie's. And now it's really weird because I feel so comfortable celebrating Mother's Day with her. I see her as my mother-in-law, I have no qualms about that, like I love her to death. So we got her a card and took her flowers, and the children, I was happy for the children to say Happy Mother's Day to her because she does so much for us and she feels in that nan role, but I just don't know why I felt so strange about it, I don't know. So we went there and we was watching a film, and Elsa was literally just like not comfortable at all, whereas Squirtle I think was quite glad to just block everybody out, watch the television. So we said to Auntie Benny, do you want to come round ours for tea later? And she was like, yeah. But Elsa just got so restless. I said, look, I think we're going to go. And she was like, we'll leave Squirtle here. He can finish the film and I'll bring him home later. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And he was like, yeah, like jumped at the chance. And I think that's really nice for him because he did have a really special relationship with one of his grandmothers, and he does get a lot out of Bernie in terms of that relationship. So he's spent a couple of hours with her, just them two, which was nice. Elsa got me and Nico, just us two, which is what she needs, that little bit of reassurance. So yeah, just again, and I've said it before, but taking the child's lead and just being really intuitive to what they need, and understanding that it must be so confusing for them, so confusing. And a couple of times I've said, oh, I bet mummy's thinking of you today, I bet she opened her card and loved it. you know, and you try and say it, but you don't want to say too much because I don't want to upset them or scare them or worry them. So it's been a day. It's been an absolute day. We're still just waiting for Squirtle to come home, and then we're all going to have a nice roast together. And we've got school tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 2-week countdown to Egypt, which will take the edge off of anything, I think, going forward, which will be really nice. And I'm just going to keep telling them how much I love them for the rest of the day and tuck them in and thank them for the most magical day. And it's been beautiful to be appreciated, but I get appreciated every day. Nico's an amazing husband. Literally, we're a complete team. It's split down the middle, the responsibilities of the children and the house. And yeah, I just think it's been overwhelming more than anything. That's probably the word that I can say. But I've enjoyed it, and any foster carers out there who are feeling the same way, just enjoy it for what it is. You're not trying to replace anybody. You're not taking anybody's place. But we do have a job to do, and we do have shoes to fill. These children are in our care, and if we didn't treat them as our own, I think we'd be doing them an injustice. So yeah, but then to you who didn't receive anything today for Mother's Day and the children don't see you in that way at all, you're not doing a bad job either. Take the child's lead, go with it. It's their day, and that's all I can say on it really. It's been a really strange one. Thank you for all of your messages. They've been so lovely. Honestly, like, welling up reading them, like, just unbelievable. And lots of things make me remember why I do this, but today has really sort of made me, given me that leap as to why we do it, and it's proven to me how much I do mean to the kids, and what a gigantic role this is, and how important it is, and how much I love it. So yeah, that's been our Mother's Day. It's been crazy. I don't even feel like I've got across the emotions that we've all felt at some point today, but it's been a good one. And I just can't wait for tomorrow to start that countdown and all get on holiday together for the first time. Lots of firsts. This has been my least enjoyable first so far. But yeah, I hope you've all had a lovely day, and I will catch up with you soon. See you later.